What's going on, everybody? Welcome to our first episode of the new PC era for J&D Sports Talk. In this episode, it's August 1st. I figured I'd make a tier list to start it off. I'm just going to talk about where I think each team is what they're going to do this season, from being terrible to mid to Super Bowl contenders right off the bat. Make sure you guys subscribe. Check out our TikTok and Twitch, J&D Sports Talk, and let's get into today's video. All right, the first team we are going to do here is the Carolina Panthers. Obviously, as you guys know, this is my team. I am not going to be biased here, but I think Carolina this year could be a potential wild card. Listen, I mean, you guys are going to call me biased already, but we got a young offense. Just got Tedero McMillan from the draft. We got Jalen Coker, Adam Thielen, a very deep receiver room with Jimmy Horn Jr. He has speed. Um, and then Chuba Hubbard, Rico, Jatavion Sanders should have a good year. We have a top 10 offensive line. Defense will probably be middle of the pack. I think our coaching staff as well. And I think this team can win 6 to 10 games. I think it's really going to depend on how we do the first 5 weeks of the season, because we go Jacksonville, Arizona, Atlanta, Miami, and the Jets, something like that. They're all winnable. But yeah, that's where I have the Panthers right now as a team that can sneak into the playoffs or barely miss it. Next up for the Miami Dolphins, I'm going to get some hate for this one, but I think they are a mid team. I feel like they are going to kind of do what the Jaguars did last year. They're just going to break down. I don't think Tua is that great of a quarterback. I don't think their coach is anything successful for them. They can't beat good teams, and I believe they have a hard schedule. Moving on, the Baltimore Ravens, I'm going to put them at Super Bowl contenders right off the bat. I feel like the Ravens are one of those teams who are good every year recently. It's just they have a hard time of winning in the playoffs when it really matters, but I think they've improved this offseason. D-Hop should be a decent addition for them, and I really like what they did in the draft. They got Malachi Starks, they got Jareer Alexander. I think the Ravens are going to be a good team this year. Next up, we got the New Orleans Saints. I think they're going to be terrible. Huge questions at quarterback, new coach, old defense, old team. I think the only bright spot on their offense besides 32-year-old Alvin Kamara is Chris Olave. I don't see this team really doing anything. They're probably top 3 pick territory. Next up, the Cincinnati Bengals. They're tough, but I'm probably going to go playoff teams. I think they could be Super Bowl contenders, but it's all going to come down to that defensive side of the ball. We know what Joe Burrow, T. Higgins, Jamar Chase, we know what they can do. And I think their coaching held them back a little bit last year too. But we'll see how the Bengals do. It's all going to depend on the defense, though. Here's a hot take I have. I have Denver on a deep playoff run. I don't like Denver. I'm a Panthers fan. Never have, never will like them. But I'm going to give credit where it's due. This team is going to have the best defense this season. They've drafted some good players. They've signed Hufanga and Greenlaw from the 49ers. Denver is going to have a really good defense this year. I think the only thing that would hold them back a bit is their weapons. But I think they can make a mid-season trade to make that work. Next up, we have the New York Giants. I'm going to put them, I don't know, I'll put them not great. I do see potential of them being mid this year, though. It's just that question at quarterback. How will Russell Wilson play? I think Dart will be good for them in 2-3 years. Kind of like Jordan Love thing. He's got to sit for a bit. But the defense is going to be really good. I think they're going to have the best D line in the NFL. They got Brian Burns, Abdul Carter. They got Dexter Lawrence, Kayvon Thibodeau if he has a breakout year. The Giants are going to have a really good pass rush and a really good defense. They also got Paulson Adebo, who I think is underrated from the Saints. Moving on, we got the Minnesota Vikings. I'm going to put them as a playoff team. This team could be Super Bowl contenders, but it's all going to depend on J.J. McCarthy. Not much has changed for them. Just quarterback. Darnold went to the Seahawks, as we all know. But this team's season depends on J.J. Next up, we got the Los Angeles Rams. Call me whatever you want, but they are going into Super Bowl contenders. They were a couple points from doing it last year. They fell short to the Eagles. They're just a really good team. Matthew Stafford, I don't care how old he is, 39? He's still slinging the football. He's still playing really well. And as long as he does that, they have Kyron Williams, Puka Nacua, Devontae Adams now. I think he'll have a good year. That Rams team is going to be pretty good. Always with Sean McVay, always. Next up, we have Tampa Bay. I have them going on a in playoff team. I think they're Carolina's number one number one threat to the division. They're a good team. I think they're gonna have a little bit of a drop off, but Bucks beat some pretty good teams early on last year before they ran into some injuries. But I think the Bucks are kind of the same. They're gonna be a good team. I really don't like that they got Emeka Egbuka from the Buckeyes. I wish he didn't go there. I think he's gonna be good for them, especially if Chris Godwin leaves the team soon. But Tampa's a good team, and I think they're going to play like that this year, even though I don't like them. Next up, we have Detroit. I'm going to put them in Super Bowl. This team would have won it last year, in my opinion, if they didn't have as many injuries as they did on the defensive side of the ball. I think they had like 20-something players on IR. It was very unfortunate. So they're just looking for revenge, and I think they're going to be a feisty team. I don't care what happened in the Hall of Fame game. Detroit's going to be a really good football team this year and always fun to watch. I think the key thing for them is how their offensive coordinators do. They lost Ben Johnson to the Bears, and they lost Aaron Glenn to the Jets. Next up, we have the Chicago Bears. They're a potential wild card, man. It's the Bears at the end of the day. You know what? No, they're missing the playoffs, man. They're missing the playoffs. I know I'm a Panthers fan. I don't like them, but I mean, I think they definitely got better. But look at the last 4 off seasons. They won the last 4 off seasons of any team, and they went nowhere. So, I mean, the Bears are one of those teams that I got to see it to believe it. Next up, we got the 49ers. They're going on a deep playoff run. People say they got worse. They got younger. I mean, yeah, they lost some leaders on the defense. Hufanga, Greenlaw, like I said. Bosa's getting older, but I still think they're going to be a good team. They just had a lot of injuries last year. I can see them going divisional round NFC Championship this year. Next up, we got the Eagles. I'm going to put them at number 1 in the Super Bowl contending. They just won the Super Bowl, and they're a good team. No questions asked there. Las Vegas Raiders, potential wild card. I see a good vision for this team this year. Is it going to happen this year? Probably not. But I really like what they did this offseason. I like that they got Ashton Genty. They improved the defense a bit. I think the Raiders have a chance to be good with Pete Carroll and the new front office they got. I think the Raiders have a chance to sneak in. I think right now they got 7 or 8 wins, maybe 6, but I think they could be a potential wild card. Next up, we have the Packers. I'm going deep playoff run. This team, I mean, last year they got eliminated in the divisional round, I'm pretty sure, or the wild card. Matthew Golden, the pick. I like that pick for them. Besides that, Green Bay hasn't changed much because they don't really need to. I think Green Bay, they're just one of the youngest teams in the NFL that are good, and they just need to keep developing and keep playing. Next up for the Commanders, I got them on a playoff team. I think they're going to take a little dip this year. Still think they're going to do good. I don't think they're going to win 12 games, though. I got them winning 9 or 8. I think they have one of the hardest schedules in the NFL. I could double check myself on that, but especially if Terry gets traded, man, I don't know. I don't think Debo's going to be their one. I don't think Terry will get traded, but you never know. But Commanders, I think they're going to go down a little bit. They're still going to make the playoffs, though. Next up, Arizona Cardinals. They're going to be barely missing the playoffs. I don't know the Cardinals, man. They're just one of those teams that I feel like they do the same thing every year. They're 8-9 wins. Kyler Murray, this season depends on Kyler Murray. That's it for them. Pittsburgh Steelers, they're going to be mid this year. They are so overhyped. They are doing this gimmick of pretending to be all in, but they're not. They don't have the offensive line to be all in. Aaron Rodgers is like 41 years old. He's not, if he played decent last year, he's not going to get better. He's going to be decent or he's going to go down a little bit. I just don't see this team being 500. I really don't. I like the addition to DK Metcalf, but again, you traded George Pickens, so who's your 2? There's not much really there. Freiermuth, I think, could be solid, but We'll have to see. But Steelers, the only reason they'd have a good record is Mike Tomlin. Buffalo, they're Super Bowl contenders. I feel like we say this for the last 6, 7 years. Again, just like the Ravens are on the same boat. They're good until the games matter. Then they lose some way. Let's see if they get over that this year. We got Atlanta. They're on the same boat with Carolina. I strongly dislike Atlanta. I really do. I'm a Panthers fan. Strongly dislike them, but I'm going to give credit where it's due. They improved their main hole, which is pass rush. I think what it really comes down to is Michael Penix and Raheem Morris game managing. I don't think he had good game managing last year, but we'll see. Yeah, I think they're kind of on the same boat here. They could be a wild card team, but we'll see. Seattle is on the same boat. They barely missed the playoffs last year. I think they could make the playoffs this year. I think it just depends on Sam Darnold. You got the New England Patriots. I think they're gonna be mid. They're gonna be solid this year, though. I could see them being solid. But what doesn't move me is that wide receiver room. I still think it needs work. Besides Diggs, you are relying on Pop Douglas, Booty, Jalen Polk. Those aren't guys you want to rely on to be a competitor. I think the Patriots got 7 or 8 wins. I think that's their ceiling, but they could go second in that division. I could really see that. Next up, we got the Browns. They're going to be terrible. 5 quarterbacks, whatever they're doing over there. I could see them being like mid though if the quarterbacks lock in and play well, but I just don't think the Browns are going to do anything this year. Houston, I think they're going to be a deep playoff team. Um, they regressed last year, but they still won a playoff game. They got better, and I think CJ Stroud's going to have a better year. It wasn't his really fault that he had a bad year last year. Yes, some of it was, but the offensive line wasn't great for him last year, and he had a lot of his weapons get hurt. Hopefully Tank Dell could stay healthy this year, man. He's one of those players that could be top 10 receiver in the league if he stays healthy. Next up, we got the Kansas City Chiefs. Super Bowl contender. Not even going to talk about it. Dallas. Potential wild card. I don't know about the Schottenheimer hire, man. I think it's 50-50 on it right now. I think he's going to be a good culture guy, but is he going to be the XOs guy that you need to win? We'll have to see. Dak Prescott's only getting older. CeeDee Lamb and George Pickens will be a very good duo that I'm very excited to watch. Micah Parsons did request a trade, so we'll have to see how that goes down, but Jerry Jones is just an idiot. We have the Chargers. I see playoff team. I want to put them at deep playoff run, but those receivers do not convince me of anything other. I mean, Lad McConkey, and that's it. You got Trey Harris. KLS had a good game for the Hall of Fame game. Those receivers just don't convince me for contending. So we'll have to see how that goes for them. New York Jets, I think they're going to be mid this year. I think Aaron Glenn will have them more improved. But again, Jets are one of those teams. They're on the same boat with the Bears, in my opinion. We'll just have to see. Tennessee, they are going to be fucking dog shit. I cannot see a world where they are good unless Cam Ward turns into Jaden Daniels and they ball out. That offensive line is terrible. He doesn't have much weapons. Calvin Ridley is not a wide receiver one. That defense is old, a lot of holes. That team's going to be shit this year. Indianapolis, I see potential in them, but they're going to miss the playoffs. Anthony Richard, I have a feeling Daniel Jones is going to have a Sam Darnold season, but we will see. I'm not going to rely on it, though. Colts barely missed the playoffs. Jacksonville Jaguars, an interesting team. I'm going to put them at mid, though. I think they're going to do better than last year. They won, 4 games last year? I think they're going to win 6 or 7 this year. I think they're an improved team. We'll have to see how Liam Cohen does in his first year. That is going to be it for today's episode of J&D Sports Talk. I hope you guys enjoyed. Like I said, new era with the new PC. I think this was a good video to start it off where I see every team this season. We're going to have some gaming videos coming your way soon. I'm probably going to get a better webcam soon. But other than that, we should be set. Hope you guys enjoyed. Like I said, check out the TikTok and Twitch. Now, see you guys in the next episode. Keep pounding, Panthers.